Mm-hmm. All black everything. We back. We back. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Tell a friend. Yes, indeed. Chapter 5. Tell lies to your vision. Where we at? There we go. Mm-hmm. Like, you share, subscribe. You know the usual. Put your thumbs up like you're hitchhiking. Welcome, welcome. Think it's light. Big dreams, many streams. Tell lies to your vision. Tavistock Institute. Let's get right into it. I do not own the rights to this music. Peace to the King LL. Cool J, you know what that is. Here we go. No waiting. And it continues. The brainwashers concluded that mass media events had caused people to suspend their belief in reality, that they had in fact been willing to accept uncritically things being said, which if they had heard in another context, they would most probably have rejected. Now think back today. How insane are some of these things we have been told by our leaders? So foolish. Do your own thinking, you know. Weapons of mass destruction in Iraq rise. Iranian mullahs allegedly threatening the security of the United States rise. Libyan leader Muammar al-Gaddafi supplying his troops with Viagra in order to rape women participating in the rebellion. Foolish. They just killed that man. Osama bin Laden's death, explains Wolf. Quote, during the Second World War, Bruno Bettelheim's and a neo-Freudian published a psychological analysis of the Nazi period at the behest of the network of brainwashers associated with the Tavistock Institute. Bettelheim described how, under extreme doubt and terror, the individual will regress into an increasingly more infantile state. In that condition, the inmates of the Nazi concentration camps started to mirror the personalities and the mannerisms of their oppressors, the SS guards. In a widely circulated version of his work, The Informed Heart, he indicated that life outside the concentration camps mirrored the psychological disintegration taking place inside all German cities, were becoming more infantile, less able to act as reasonable adults. In The Informed Heart, Bettelheim writes, quote, the good German had to be seen as also dumb. It is one of the thing was one thing to behave like a child because one is a child. It is quite another thing to be an adult and have to force oneself to assume childish behavior. It was not just coercion by others into helpless dependency. It was also the clean splitting of the personality. Man's anxiety, his wish to protect life, forced him to relinquish what was ultimately his best chance of survival, his ability to react and make appropriate decisions. But giving this up, he was no longer a man but a child, knowing that for survival he should decide and act and trying to survive by not reacting. These, in their combination, overpowered the individual to such a degree that he was eventually short of all self respect and all feelings of independence. In the end, the Nazi experiment failed, and the Nazi himself, a group of Gnostic psychotics, had to be destroyed by the same forces who put them in power in the first place. In the meantime, the Third Reich causes massive shift of consciousness in the planet, a paradigm shift, if you like. Although occultism and politics have long been bedfellows since the days of Joseph interpreting dreams for the Pharaoh, or King Saul consulting the witch of Endor, or even earlier in the astral temples at Nineveh and Babylon, the world came very close to enduring a massive and industrialized autocracy in the form of the Third Reich. It is worth repeating here that the Nazi Party was not a political party as we commonly understand it, but a cult. Quote, Nazi appropriation of the occult was a weird farrago of astrology, Freemasonry, racism rooted in occultism, and popular European folklore. The Cathars, the Holy Grail, the Knights Templar, the Arthurian legends, sinister forces at work against humanity. In Morning of the Magicians, one of the most explosive books of the 1960s, the author identifies these forces in paranormal terms, but always linking them back to the fascist fantasies of Hitler, Himmler, Rosenberg, Dar, and Hess. Blatant occult fantasies that became government policy and which led to the Holocaust and World War II, end quote. The millions of innocent people died because that millions of innocent people died because of this twisted dream is the greatest tragedy of the 20th century. But the authors insisted that there was something there below the surface of the Third Reich, a sinister force that had been successfully for for a time evoked by the Nazi magicians of the SS. The phenomenon of coincidence, or what Carl Jung called synchronicity, was the most obvious of the operation of this force, and one which the author suggested could be the basis of a whole new conception of history. Mm. We're gonna end it right there. So a lot going on, man. A lot of powerful information. Such a short time. Information dispersed. We dropping it. Still, chapter 5. Tell lies to your vision. Do your own diligence, man. It's going down. We're gonna come back. Tavistock Institute. All black everything. Thinkers plight. Big dreams, many streams. Thanks for checking us out. Peace and love. Like it, share it, subscribe it. Put them thumbs up like you're hitchhiking. Let's go. So what we gotta do? Organize and rise, y'all. This is custom made. Let me know what you want. Got them on deck. Peace and love.